US President Donald Trump pulled off a rare diplomatic scramble on Monday. In a hastily arranged series of meetings, he welcomed Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky and several European leaders to the White House. The mission? To push forward a deal that could end Russia's war in Ukraine. Diplomats could barely recall another moment when so many leaders tore up their schedules to fly to Washington at such a short notice. The urgency was real. Europe wants in on any peace deal, and just as importantly, its leaders don't want to be sidelined by Donald Trump. Here are 5 key takeaways from this diplomatic summit. First off, the Oval Office felt different this time. Gone was a shouting match from February earlier this year. Zelensky came prepared to smooth things over. He brought a letter from his wife for Melania Trump. He praised her letter to Putin about children suffering in the Russia-Ukraine war. And in his first 10 seconds, Zelensky said thank you 4 times. And this was a deliberate move. A gesture to counter J.D. Vance's past accusations that he was utterly ungrateful. Even Zelensky's outfit was a concession. No olive green military sweater. This time, a suit. Trump teased him about it and they both laughed. And like before, Trump's team kept silent. J.D. Vance, Secretary of State Marco Rubio, and Special Envoy Steve Witkoff all sat quietly on the Oval Office sofa. The core of Monday's talks was security. What guarantees can be given to Ukraine if peace is reached? Zelensky and European leaders pressed Trump on whether Russia could be deterred from attacking again. Trump surprised everyone. He refused to rule out sending US troops to Ukraine as peacekeepers. That's a major shift. Trump ran on keeping US troops out of foreign wars. Even some of his advisors opposed such a move, but Trump left this door wide open. Trump stated President Putin agreed that Russia would accept security guarantees for Ukraine. I'm optimistic we can reach an agreement that will deter future aggression. On Truth Social later, POTUS added that European nations would take the lead with coordination from the United States. This wasn't a full commitment, but the possibility of US boots on the ground startled allies and signaled Trump might be willing to bend his old red lines to end the war. And there's, of course, Trump's trilateral dream. Trump has made it no secret. He wants Zelensky and Putin in the same room with him. He believes only a direct trilateral meeting can end the war. On Monday, he said it was still his goal. Trump warned, if we don't have a trilat, the fighting continues. If we do, there's a good chance we end it. Trump even paused his meeting with Zelensky and the European leaders to speak with Putin by phone. Later, he wrote that arrangements were underway for a Zelensky-Putin meeting followed by a trilateral session, including himself. No date or place has been confirmed yet, and Putin has not explicitly agreed. Still, Trump insisted it's a question of when and not if. Meanwhile, European leaders remain uneasy. French President Emmanuel Macron floated the idea of a quadrilateral meeting. He stated security guarantees mean European security. Trump ignored that suggestion, however. For now, it's clear POTUS intends to keep the spotlight on himself. The fine print is no ceasefire for now. Perhaps the biggest shock was Trump's reversal on the ceasefire. Just last week, heading into his Alaska summit with Putin, he had insisted he wanted a ceasefire and threatened severe consequences if one didn't happen. Now he says it's no longer realistic. Trump added, all of us prefer an immediate ceasefire. As of this moment, it's not happening. Instead, POTUS wants to focus directly on negotiating a final peace deal. And that has rattled Europe. German Chancellor Friedrich Merz urged Trump to reconsider. He said, "I can't imagine the next meeting will take place without a ceasefire." Meanwhile, Trump brushed it off. He said if we can get a ceasefire, great. But Porras made it clear it wasn't his priority anymore. So after the slew of meetings, what happens next? The day's talks showed how high the stakes have become. Zelensky adjusted his tone, even his wardrobe, to keep Trump engaged. Europe rushed in to avoid being sidelined. Trump surprised everyone with hints of troop involvement, and yet nothing concrete was decided. However, what was clear is Trump is determined to play peacemaker, and he wants it to do it on his own terms. For Europe and Ukraine, that means navigating both opportunity and risk. The next 2 weeks, as Trump pushes for a Zelensky-Putin face-off, may prove to be the biggest diplomatic test yet.